All right, I think we're coming back. Sorry about that, gang. We seem to have some technical difficulties. We should be back in action here. Sorry, we're... All right. Okay, let's see. All right, so we are back in action. All right, so let me pick up where we left off. Sorry, this is now going to be called part two. Welcome
Part
back.
two.
Welcome back to True Dungeon Talk with Trent, the episode where we talk to Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon, and we're going to pick up and finish off these questions that we were asking Mr. Jeff. All right, so we were talking about welcome back.
I think it was Fred. Fred and a kindred spirit.
Yeah, we were talking about spell books, I believe, and how they might be used. And you were mentioning that as long as they were fun for different characters, that you had considered them. But you also mentioned that later this year you hope to do character card redesign, which I think will be pretty amazing. I mean, it's so amazing that I'm sweating it because it's so exciting. And when you do that, will you do a round by yourself and then send it to the forums, and then the feedback cycle will begin? Is that your plan there?
Yeah, probably me and the TD team will figure some stuff out. I've been getting some great feedback for years from like Ed Devaney and Kirk Bauer. They actually came before all this craziness happened. We had kind of a plan to redo them later, but it's been delayed a few years. But yeah, they've had some great ideas too. So we've got a pretty good idea of some stuff, and we'll throw it out there and see what the community thinks.
Yeah, I've when I first started, Kirk helped me out a ton. Ed helped me out a ton. I remember for new people, I don't know if they are not as bright as me. I'm sure they were all much more bright than me, but I found it a little difficult to kind of understand how to put the characters together. And Ed was amazing. I mean, we actually talked on the phone for hours, So
Sure.
This was way before Zoom and all that other stuff kind of became the norm. So he was super helpful. And Kirk always chased down the tokens that I was looking for, as you could imagine. I was a voracious token finder. He was very helpful. So I can see how they would both be, great people to contribute to design, because I think they think that way. Me, however, I don't think I think that way. When people ask me about like the token design process, I just say, well, whatever it is, I'll like it, so because I want one of each. So that's cool. All right, now next up, we only have a couple more questions. So if anybody, thank you guys for jumping back in. If anyone has any questions, shoot them into the chat. If not, we have only 2 more to go. Next up, let's see. Any update on the Dragon Orb transmutes? Ooh, the Dragon Orbs.
Well, they should be ready to be transmuted at DragonCon. The SkullCon thing. So in June. So we should have everything ready for that. So hopefully people can. I don't know for sure yet. We're still waiting on some stuff from the factory, but we should be able to have that all in stock and ready to go for SkullCon.
Okay. Hold on. Wait. What?
Yeah, we figured people would want to do those in person. So, yeah, we're hoping to have that available at SkullCon as well.
What? So,
Yeah.
let me get this straight. SkullCon, you can bring all your Dragon Orbs, transmute them, the 5 version and the 8 version, that's still the plan.
Yeah.
Then the next logical question is, can you use it at SkullCon?
Sure. But again, like we said, the 5 has a fairly decent power. The 8 one is going to be just, I didn't want to, it wasn't supposed to be any kind of like big super item. That it was mostly just, it was supposed to be a surprise kind of thing, like I did with the Radisson parts. I didn't announce the Dragon Orbs are going to be free for every 8K order or whatever. It was just they showed up one day and after the
Mm-hmm.
season was over.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. Don't get too excited about the 8 year thing. So, but it'll just be cool to have as a keepsake. I think more than anything.
I'm excited to have one of each, of course. And then I'm
Yep.
insane. I want one of the fives, one of the eights, and then one of each one of them. And actually, if you want to get really crazy, there's two additional ones of all of them that, insane people like me must have. One of them, the back is different, and one of them, I think the front is different as well. So
Oh,
there's actually 10. Maybe we could talk about that next month, but there's actually 10 singles that I have to keep, 5 to turn in, and then another 8 to turn in. So welcome to Crazyland. All right, so Guildstrife, we have a question. What are your thoughts on a paladin shield that protects the party from one AoE attack for 50% damage done to the paladin? Ooh, that's a big hit.
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, if you want to suggest that for if he's talking about like a character power, that sounds cool. Yeah. Just send an email, Jeff at True Dungeon. If you have send that specifically, and I'll put it in the notes.
All right, Gilstrath, you
So,
heard it. That's a very cool paladin power. Send it in. And final question. Again, if there's any more questions, let me know in the chat. If not, here's the final question that I have that was pre-submitted. Pardon me. With the cancellation of PAX South, any thoughts to adding another in-person con in the spring of 2023? Or maybe that time frame is most conducive to continuing the virtual adventures. Any preliminary thoughts on that?
well, that's funny. You should ask that question. We're talking to the folks that put on MomoCon down
In
in
Atlanta?
Atlanta. It's the Memorial Day weekend every year. Chris and his wife are really cool folks. They remind me a lot of Laura and I, just passionate folks that just kind of accidentally had something cool happen. Their MomoCon was just was like that. It was like, hey, I really like this stuff. Let's do anime and let's have a little kind. And it just kind of blossomed from there because they're, passionate folks that really care about it, the whole thing, and it just grew. So yeah, we may be going there next year. We'll talk to them and see.
Wow.
It'll be nice because it'll be a different area we've never been to, and it'll be in the convention center. So we won't have the problems with the hotels that we have sometimes about docks and freight elevators and all kinds of stuff. So
If I recall, you were going to MomoCon in 2020, but then the world went
yeah,
nuts.
we were planning on that, and it kind of went nuts. They've had to cancel 2 of them, but their next one's coming up here next month. So hopefully they have a great return. Everything's good, and after that's over, we're supposed to talk about coming down there next year. So it would be nice to start the summer off with a show down there for sure.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. Possibly MomoCon 2023. Well, those are my questions and all the submitted questions as well. Thank you very much, Jeff. Is there anything else you would like to share before you depart into your secret back cave and play with your fun toys there?
Just, I guess this is the, just want to tell all the token folks that will put up with me for the last 3 weeks or so on the forums. Thanks a bunch. It's always a crazy process, and I appreciate all the feedback and all the great ideas and the patience when I screw stuff up or don't listen hard enough or whatever. But we eventually get through it with your patience, and that's just want to say I really appreciate that.
Well, that's very, very cool. Yeah, I think yearly, I think you say you're going to do it next time. You're going to plan ahead and start sooner. Do you want to say that again this year to kind of keep it going?
Yeah. I'm a Cub fan at heart, so next year.
Poor Cubs.
Next year's gonna be better. Next year will be better.
It's always going to be better. Great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Jeff. It's a pleasure to have you on your show. Thank you so much for sharing such very cool info, behind the scenes info, and some somewhat secret stuff coming up in the future as well. I look forward to talking with you next month. We'll get in deeper about SkullCon and maybe the dragon stuff. And it sounds like it's going to be an exciting year, to continue this year with Virtual True Dungeon possibly as well. So many fun things happening. So thanks again, Jeff. Hope you have a good day, and hope everybody is well.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Bye now.
Take care, everybody.
All right, well, there you have it. That was Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon. How cool was all that cool info? I appreciate him coming on. It's always a pleasure to hear all the fun, revealing, interesting things happening with True Dungeon. And thank you very much for watching, everybody. And don't forget that algorithm stuff, liking and sharing and subscribing, etc. I really appreciate it. And my wife says, good job. Thank you, honey. Thank you. She has to say that. All right, that's it. Remember, don't forget, it's very difficult to frown when you're smiling. So smile.